All right, here are the G-Force Renegade axles for the 6th gen Camaro. They are heavy, they are thick, dual bolt-in, so this side separates and this side separates. Much larger spline here compared to the factory one, which is interesting because these have a little bit of wear on them, but nothing crazy. But you can tell inside the hub that the splines are full engagement here. And I measured it, and actually the hub is a little bit wider than what the spline here is. So this part of the spline here isn't touching the last of the teeth there, which is probably why they have such longer ones here, because this is going to have full engagement. Yeah, pretty good. Come with bolts. Here's something that I just don't understand. Why don't they put longer bolts in here? If the whole thing's threaded, you can see where it ends in there. Why don't they make them another 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch longer and just have them thread all the way out? I don't know. These ones, you got to pop the CVs out of the diff. So I got to get my slide hammer and pop the other ones out. But yeah, they look pretty good. I'm going to weigh them just because I'm interested to see what they actually weigh. But here's what I did with the old ones. The factory axles, these are the ARPs. I think I got these from SMG. I don't remember. But these replaced the factory bolts because people were breaking those. And I didn't break an axle. You know, I went 8s. It made power. I didn't really launch it super hard, the 60 foot, but I never broke an axle, and I'm just doing it as preventative maintenance basically because I don't want to break one while I'm there. And that kind of sucks because I did that with my drive shaft, and it kind of ruins the whole day. So I'll weigh these and then I'll show you guys the weight. Here's the factory axles with the nuts. I put the inner CVs back on, and these are 50, it's like 50 pounds right on the nose. All right, G-Force Renegade axles. I zeroed it out, and it is 58 pounds. Holy shit. All right, guys, I'm pulling the inner shafts out. This one popped right out the driver's side. A lot of times, like four-wheelers and like little cars with CVs, you can usually just stick pry bars in here and jam it and pop them, but in the Camaro, it's really easy to pull a diff. Just pull the diff out, use a little slide hammer like this, and actually if I do it right here, it should pop right out of there. Nice and square. I can't hold the damn phone. There it is. Barely hitting it. Comes right out nice and clean. All right, I got the inner CVs in there. These are really nice pieces. They push straight in, no problem. And then I just put a little block on there and just give it a little whap with the hammer to make sure it's fully seated. Everything looks good. I marked them. I don't think it makes a difference, but I marked them per axle. Axles are in, the diff's back in. So you guys that are doing this, you don't have to remove the diff. There's so much play with the double joint here on these axles that you don't have to pry or anything. There's like a 1/2 inch gap between these two when you realign them and put them in there. So leave the diff in. My slide hammer was just too long. It wouldn't actually fit in here to pop them out, so I had to pull the diff out. But if you have a shorter one, or if you want to just use pry bars, get the old ones out, I guess it'll be easy. But here you are, remarked everything. I mark every bolt, even the drive shaft bolts. And yeah, these are all nice. They fit in there good. Everything looks good. I got to put the nuts on the end and torque them in. I got to look what that is. And then here's my secret there. One thing I did notice, I have a gouge in my drive shaft. That's from the bolt on the top of the tank there, so the tank comes up over it. There's a bolt dead center, it holds that up. This must have flexed so much. This rear end must have flexed so much launching it before I put all these bushings in there, the BMR lockout kit, that this must have went up. Yeah, it must have went up and dug that into there. That sucks. But there it is. Later.